Everyone, this is our lecture number 31. In this lecture we have studied about the bond and development length. So first we write about the bond. So while analyzing and designing the reinforcement, while analyzing and designing the reinforcement concrete structures, it is assumed that there is a perfect bond between concrete and steel, that is, there is absolutely no slippage between the concrete and steel. The grip between reinforcement and concrete due to adhesion or bearing is termed as bond. So this is the definition of bond. While we analyzing and designing the reinforcement concrete structures, it is assumed that there is a perfect bond between concrete and steel. There is absolutely no slippage between concrete and steel. The grip between reinforcement and concrete due to adhesion or bearing is termed as bond. Actually here we discuss what happened here. If you know, when we construct our building, so we provide some extra reinforcement bar over the terrace. So why we provide this extra reinforcement bar? Because we want that in future, if we want to construct a one floor more on our building, that's why we provide the reinforcement bar. So how they connect that column with the bar, that thing here we have to study, and that length is called the development length. Means this is the column and here we provide some extra reinforcement bar here, and this bonding concrete part, this is called LD, that is the development length, which is we cast in concrete. Okay, so here we have to find the development length and bond stress. And the bond stress, you know, this is the concrete and this is reinforcement. So this combination means this combined action is called as tau BD, means bond stress. Here we developed a bond stress. How we developed a bond stress? Because if we applied a pulling force here, then what happened, this concrete and reinforcement create a friction between that, and due to this friction here we generate the stress, and this stress is called bond stress. And the gripping between the reinforcement and concrete is due to adhesion process, because you know that concrete is in adhesive, so that's why that is the bond between the concrete and reinforcement. So we have to find the bond stress, tau BD and LD. This is the development length which is inserted in the concrete. And when we connect this part with the column, this is the lapping part, we have to lap over this part. Okay, so this is the definition of bond. Now we discuss about the development length. And you know that force is transverse reinforcement to concrete and vice versa. So to transfer the design force steel to concrete, the reinforced is engaged in concrete for some length, means this is the reinforcement I provided. Okay, but I want to transfer this reinforcement force to the other. So what we have to do, we have to embed it in concrete. So this reinforcement is transferred the force to concrete, and the concrete is transferred vice versa. So this embedded portion over concrete for some length. So a length of reinforcement. So let's write the definition of development length. This is the concept behind the bond stress and development length. So let's write the definition of development length. A length of reinforcement, a length of reinforcement embedded in concrete so that it can develop the bond stress is known as development length. Okay, so now we have to find one formula for finding the bond stress and development length, and from this definition or diagram you already see that there is a combination of LD means development length and bond stress. So let's find this equation for LD and bond stress. So for that, first we have to draw the diagram. After draw the diagram, we have to find the equation. So for finding the equation, what we have to do? We have to do pull out test. Pull out test. Okay. So first we make a diagram. Let this is our concrete and this is our reinforcement bar. Here we have concrete. This is our concrete. This is the concrete. Okay. Now if here we applied pulling force P, then here we have generate bond stress. Here we have generate bond stress. So here we call tau BD, and this embedded length of reinforcement is called LD. This embedded length of reinforcement is called LD. So here in our diagram we have first we have LD. So LD is the development length. Now we have tau BD. So tau BD is the design of bond stress in concrete. Now here we have generate stresses. So here we have generate sigma s, so stress in bar, and for LSM we know that sigma s is equal to 0.87 Fy. This is the bar, so it have some dia also, so that is the dia of bar, and we applied here pulling force P. pulling force P. So for find the development length, we have to perform the pull out test. So let P is equal to pull out force. So therefore bond resistance of concrete is equal to strength of bar. Why? Because when we applied a pulling force here, so this bar we have to pull out from the concrete. So there is a stress developed between them which resist this bar from pull out. So this is the bond resistance of concrete, and there are some strength of bar also. If bar is less strength, then this bar is collapsed. So there are some strength of this bar. So we have to put equal this bond strength resistance of concrete and strength of bar and find the development length or bond stress. So bond stress is divided, bond stress is the tau BD, and we have to find the LD. So how we find the LD? For that you have to find the equation. So the equation, with the help of this diagram, we get that this is LD. So we get here, if we consider this part, so tau BD into pi into phi into LD. Why? Because this is overall portion, so either here we take circumference, okay, and strength of bar. So strength of bar is, we know that sigma is equal to force upon area, so force is equal to stress into area. So here stress into area is pi by 4 and d square, because here we have used some bars, and from this equation we get LD is equal to phi sigma s upon tau BD into 4, and sigma s is equal to 0.87 Fy. Sigma s is equal to 0.87 Fy. So this is the formula for finding the LD, and for finding the tau BD you have given one table in IS 456/2000 for finding the tau BD, because tau BD is totally depend on grade of concrete. So there is one table is given in IS 456. I write here table also, but if you want to see this table and close, then you have to visit IS 456/2000 page number 42 and 43, page number 42 and 43, and close number 26. So table is like that. We have given grade of concrete, and this is our tau BD value. So for M20 tau BD is 1.2, for M25 tau BD is 1.4, for M30 tau BD is 1.5, for M35 1.7, and M40 and above it is 1.9. So this is the value of tau BD in case of various grade of concrete, and this tau BD value is increased when we use different types of bars, means you are used mild steel reinforcement or HYSD bar. So if you have used deformed bars, means HYSD bar, deformed bar, so it tau BD value is increased by 60%. Tau BD value is increased by 60%. This is the clause which is given in IS 456/2000. It is given in IS 456 2000 page number 43 clause number 26. Okay, and if you use this tau BD in compression, this is first point. When you used in deformed bar, it increased by 60%, and second point is when you used in compression, it increased by 25%. How we increase this 60% and 25% we see when we solve the problem, but right now you note this part. Tau BD is getting with the help of this table, and when we take a deformed bar, it is increased by 60%. For a compression, it is increased by 25%, and this values is given in our IS 456 2000. So this is the equation for finding the LD, means development length, and how we find the tau BD or bond stress. Now this we have provided in bundle of bars also, means that is not necessary we have provide only a single bar here. We provide a bond in number of bars also. For example, if I want to provide a single bar here, but when we want to join the bars, here we join 2 bars or 3 bars or number of bundled of bars. So for joining or lapping criteria, we have some clause given in our IS 456 2000. So here I write some clause for that. So as per IS code, so as per IS 456 2000 clause 26.2.1.2 page number 43, bars may be arranged singly or in pairs of contract. Okay, so there are some rules given. The rules are, if the development length, if नहीं आएगा, if नहीं है, the development length of each bar of bundled bars shall be that for the individual bar. Means when we use individual bars, so we have to take the same value of strength or development length. But if we have take the number of bars, or 2 bars as a bundle, 3 bars as a bundle, so we have to increase the percentage. So first, if we take a 2 bars in contact, then we have to increase with 10% for 2 bars in contact, 20% for 3 bars, and 33% for 4 bars. Means if you provide a bundled bars, then you have to increase the development length by this percentage, 10%, 20%, 33%. Actually this question is asked in your competitive examination. How much percentage you have to increase when we provide a 2 bars or a 3 bars in contact, then this ratio you have to write there. Now we have some criteria given regarding anchoring. Now what do you mean by anchoring? We provide anchoring in the form of deformed bars or hooks. Means you have to anchor means you have to stop that part, means this is our beam, and here we have provide the reinforcement, shear reinforcement. So here we provide hook. Why we provide hook? Because if this hook is not provided, this bar is collapsed. So this hook part is the anchoring, means here we lock that bar, so this is not lose their strength or crack. So there are some clause is given in our IS 456 2000 page number 33. So that clause we discuss here now. The clause are: first, for anchoring, reinforcement, anchoring, reinforcement. So this anchoring we have to do in tension, compression and shear both. So first we have take anchoring bars in tension, anchoring bar in tension. So when we anchoring bar in tension, so we have to deform bars may be used without and encourages, provided that the development length requirement is satisfied. Now second is hooks. When we provide in the form of hooks, the anchorage value of a standard U hook shall be 16 into dia of bar. You have to remember this value because this is asked in our competitive examination when you provide in the form of bands. So anchorage value, the anchorage value of band shall be taken 4 times the dia of bar each 45-degree bend subjected to a maximum of 16 times the diameter of the bar. So these are the clause we have given in code for anchoring bars in tension. We have same given for compression part. So here we change this tension to compression. For compression we have given only one clause: development length is same as we find. So for anchoring compression we have only one clause given in our IS code, and this clause is the anchorage length of straight bar in compression shall be equal to the development length of bars in compression. This is the clause given for anchoring bar in compression, and we have given some clause for anchoring bar in shear. We have provided shear reinforcement. So this is our beam. We have provided shear reinforcement like this. So if we provide shear reinforcement in this form, means here we provided this hook, and this hook is maybe 135 degree or 45 degree. So let's, if I here provided this hook in 135 degree, so this length is equal to 6 phi. This length is equal to 6 phi. Same if we have provided like this, means if we have provided the shear reinforcement like this, means in here we have provided in 135 degree, here we provided in 90 degree. So in case of 90 degree, this length which we have rotate in 90 degree, we have to take the 8 phi, up to the 8 phi. And if we here provided shear reinforcement at 180 degree, means this is here reinforcement, and we rotate this part from here. So this length which we have rotate, that is length is 4 phi. So this is the anchorage length for the case of shear. Okay, this is the length of anchorage for shear. Now our second thing we have to study, that is the anchorage length. First we have studied the development length. Now we have to find the anchorage length. Actually this is the same thing, anchorage and development length, but we have to find anchorage length. Let's here I show you, if we have provided the hook, then there is some extra length is provided. This length is called the anchorage length. So for that we have one formula, LD is less than equal to M1. LD is less than equal to M1 upon V plus L0. So this formula is used when your beam is confined. When your beam is confined, means this is the beam and this is supported by reinforcement, and here we have compression force generated in upward direction. In that case you have to use this formula, and LD is less than greater than 1.3 M1 upon V plus L0. This is used in unconfined case. This is used in confined case, and this is used in unconfined case. So these are the formula we have used relate with the anchorage length, or finding the anchorage length. So you have to remember this formula, LD is less than equal to M1 upon V plus L0 for not confined case. It is for not confined case, and this is for confined case. This is for confined case. So you have to remember this formula. After that you have to remember this formula. You also note that their L0 value, because here we have given L0. So L0 means embedded length beyond the center of the support plus equivalent embedded length. You have to take L naught this, or you have to take L naught is equal to 12 phi or D, whichever is greater, whichever is greater. Now last thing is curtailment. What do you mean by curtailment? We have to cut the reinforcement bar if there is no need of that reinforcement. Means we have provided, let's see, here we have this beam and here we have provided this reinforcement bar. So maximum bending moment lie here, 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 and there are some moment is here. But if there is no bending moment here, then this bar is not required here. So we have to cut this bar from here. That is the curtailment of bar. Means we have to remove the extra bar if that bar is not required. So how we find that? With the help of bending moment. Means the bar is not consist any bending moment, then that bar is removed in our section. Because if we not remove, our section is economically not good. So extra bar provided is increase our cost, so we cut that extra bar, and this process of cutting is known as the curtailment. So we have curtailed the bar. But this bar, there are some rules given for this curtailment. The bars cannot curtail or bend up to a distance LD is equal to 47 phi from the point of maximum bending moment. You have to remember this point. Means we have not curtail our bar or bend our bar at up to a distance of LD is equal to 47 phi. So these are the rules and clause which I have given in IS 456 2000 regarding development length, bond stress and curtailment. So you have to solve some numerical based on this part. So we make a lecture for numerical portions. So today's lecture is over, guys. If you have any query, then comment me in my comment box. Today's lecture is over. Thank you.